Hi guys, Opal here. So I'm just going to go over how I colour hair. I start off with a new layer above the base colour layer and I fill it with my darker colour. In this example I'm using a darker colour, but you can also do a colour on multiply if you want. And then because I work from dark to light, I grab an airbrush, set it to transparent, which basically makes it an eraser, and then I erase the top of the head from the top left because that's where my light source is coming from. Then I switch to the watercolor brush. I like to use this brush because it has like little strands to it almost, so it looks quite nice for hair. And I basically start erasing again, erasing the shadow. I also do put the shadow back in at times as well for strands. It's kind of a combination of erasing and adding as and where I need to, really. And I do this all over. I mostly try and work in like triangular chunks, and I change the size quite a lot as well so that it's not all one width. Next step is another layer above the first shadow layer, which I will set to multiply and lower the opacity, and this is usually purple. I do change the colour sometimes, but purple works the best a lot of the time. And as you can see with this colour, all I'm really doing is deepening the shadows in areas that are not as close to the light source. Next step is, yes, another layer above all of this, which I will change to add glow, and this is the highlights, so go for a lighter colour. The way I do my highlights is I basically just do a long one on each side of the chunk and a little bit in the middle, so it ends up looking like an H. I also do kind of like a halo on the top as well, as you can see, and I add a lot of highlights just because I really like how glowy it looks. I like bright colours. Just adding some sparkles as well. This is kind of like my signature thing. I do it on all my pixel art too. Then the next step, I thought I'd keep this one quite slow because not everyone knows about this. Essentially I add halftones for texture, and Clip Studio Paint actually does have a layer property for this, which makes it a lot easier. So to break it down, you make a new layer above everything else, you go into layer properties, and then you select the third option, which is the halftones. From there, what you want to do is set the density to whatever you want, really. I always do a lower density because I like to have more visible halftone dots. If you want them to be smaller, then you just make the density higher, essentially. From there, I use an airbrush because it gives it a fading effect, so it's not just dots. Like some of the dots are lower opacity, which looks nicer in my opinion, and just airbrush them wherever I want them. And then what you want to do is you want to rasterize the layer, which means that the layer is no longer a layer effect, it's just as it is. And then what I do is I lock the layer and choose whatever color I want for the halftones. Sometimes it's darker, sometimes it's lighter, sometimes I do multiply, sometimes I don't. It kind of depends, really. For the very last step, it's just a new layer above everything else. I select the skin tone and then an airbrush, and I just airbrush the skin tone over the ends of the fringe. It just kind of blends it in, which looks nice. And that's it. I hope this helps someone out there. Obviously, this is just my way of doing it. I'm not saying everyone should do it this way, but someone did request this, so yeah, I hope it helps. Bye!